Ladies and gents, how you doing? Welcome to the BBC Spews Live. It is the 12th of July. Huzzah! Blue Van Man sent me a good story today. You know what I'm loving? I'm loving how we've gone back to the 80s. Tory sex scandals. Did you read about the bloke who was nicked wearing a leather miniskirt and a pair of fucking high heels? It does remind me of the sort of early 80s when I was a kid. Used to turn the news on when I was only about 8, when you're sort of like not really aware of everything in the world of sex and sleaze. And you'd see like some mad picture of a fucking buck-toothed fat bloke, like David Mellor types, in like a pair of leather suspenders with a whip. You're literally like, what the fuck's this all about? So I'm loving that. We're going back to the 80s. Loving that. If you haven't seen the story, let me just find a good link for it. Beauty. I love out like that. Let's have a look. Where's that gone? Yeah, here it is. Tory MP wearing leather miniskirt. They're fucking brilliant, aren't they? These deviant scum that run us. Look at that. And he just looks like one, doesn't he? He just like it. That I tell you what, that image screams sex pest all over it. You know what it looks like? On the League of Gentlemen, them proper weirdos that were like got that face, like the ones who run the shop for local people. He looks like that, doesn't he? That just screams sex pest all over it. If he isn't tweaking his nipples while an old man wanks in his face on a regular basis, I'll eat here with the donkey. You can tell by looking at him. That man loves it. He loves lowering himself onto a bottle of shower gel whilst pulling the fucking head off it. Proper looks like he's from Royston Vasey, doesn't he? So that's brilliant, isn't it? That's brilliant. I'll read you the story out of morbid curiosity. A Conservative MP wearing a black leather miniskirt and high heels when he was involved in a late-night crash, a court has heard. Jamie Wallace, who's represented Bridgend since 2019, is on trial accused of failing to stop, failing to report an RTA, driving without due care and attention, leaving the vehicle in a dangerous position. Of course he did it. Denies the charges. How can you deny that? How can you deny it? Was it another sex pest with a creepy look on the face who was doing it? They're so brazen, these scumbags, aren't they? Deny it. No normal person denies it. A normal person holds their hand up when they get caught. Like if you get caught shagging a prostitute because your missus comes home early from work and finds you in the double bed with her, you don't go, it's not what it looks like in real life. If you've got any integrity at all, and you fuck up, you hold up your hands, don't you? And you say, yeah, I'm a wanker. A mate of mine got caught by his missus. When you're in a bootneck, you're a young lad. Lads do it. It's not honourable or noble, but lads do it. And a mate of mine was cheating on his missus, and he sat on his phone in the taxi and he was talking about it to the blokes. And it was taped on the voicemail. And he told me he walked in the house and she'd black bagged him and she'd like put like 4 bin liners next to the fucking front door. And he went, "What's all this?" And she played the phone message on speaker and he just went, "Yeah, fair enough, love. Sorry." And just picked his stuff up and walked out. That's what a man does when he makes a mistake and he gets caught on it. These weasels just brazen, aren't they? Just brazen. Listen to me, you sexual deviant scum. I don't care about your despicable late-night proclivities, but I do care about you breaking the law. And that's why I hate you. The rest of it is just gravy. It's just me mocking you for the fun of it. The charges relate to a collision on November 28th in which he's said to have been driving at a lamppost and a telegraph pole in South Wales. He crashed after swerving to avoid hitting a cat and left the scene out of fear he would be raped, killed or kidnapped due to post-traumatic stress disorder. Course you did. Course you did. This is what I keep saying, right, about why we have to go back to basics and we have to stop playing the identity politics, woke game, because it's all a game. It's all a game. We used to joke about it in the 80s, didn't we? And it was just like, It was exactly that. It was a joke. He didn't really think every single time anyone went to court, they were going to go, oh, yeah, but I had a bad childhood. You used to hear it sometimes and you'd chuckle about it, but it wasn't every time. Now it's every single time. Any time anyone ends up in court because they are shit people. Anytime some human toilet ends up in the dock because they deserve it, because they break the law, they go, oh, PTSD, because I'm woman, innit? Because I'm a woman, innit? I'm a woman. No, you broke the law. I don't care. Everyone lies constantly. It's not my fault. Not my fault. Hello, Big Tits. You always get a shout out when you follow me on Twitch because nobody follows me on Twitch. I don't know why. I guess you have to be either a twerking slut bucket or a computer game player on Twitch. But it might come in handy if Suza ever pulls the plug forever. So that's why I plug it. How good's that? So Karina Hughes said they had a very loud bang, significantly louder than a firework. Went outside, seen he's crashed his Mercedes into a lamppost. And then they saw a white male wearing a white long sleeve top, which was tight to the body, a black leather PVC miniskirt, tights, dark shoes, and a pearl necklace. And I hope they mean a real pearl necklace and not, a pearl necklace. Yeah. We'll just leave it at that. if nobody knows the euphemism, I'm hoping they mean a real pearl necklace and not a liquid, salty pearl necklace. So there he is, the despicable fat pervert. Miss Webb said the male was wearing black court shoes. Miss Watson said the male said, I'm sorting it. And then when the police were called, he fucked off. He followed him and witnessed him make 2 phone calls, during one he claimed he was being accosted because someone was trying to make sure he didn't flee the scene because he's a criminal vermin. A criminal vermin flees the scene. And then he got picked up by his dad, who went, all right, son, hop in, you filthy little bastard. Hop in. Get in the boot. Because you're not sitting on these nice leathers in my Land Rover Discovery and leaking all of the jizz and fucking feces that's going to inevitably because gravity will just push it out when you've got an arsehole like this fella. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what. Get in a bin bag, pull the bin bag up to your waist, tie your belt around it, and then get in the boot. Because you're not wrecking the upholstery in my nice Land Rover Discovery, you dirty, sweaty, salty, shitty sex pest. Get in the boot. In fact, I'd run him over. My dad was more of a prick to me than he would be to a random stranger's kid. I worked with him briefly, when I first left school, and he was a welder. And he got me a start just labouring as a kid, first job for the steel erection company he worked for. And he was a proper horrible cunt all the time. Because he was like, it's a principle of the matter, innit? You don't want anyone to accuse you of nepotism. So I have to be more of a prick to you than random strangers' kids. So I just run him over. Will you come get me, Dad? Yeah, of course I will. And then I might be like out there with all the best intentions. But as soon as I turned the corner, because you might be thinking, oh, he's had an accident. I hope he's all right. And you might turn the corner. This is I definitely know for a fact this is what my dad would do. I'd call him, go, Dad, I've been in an accident. It's terrible. And he'd go, all right, I'll come and get you, useless twat. And then he'd drive around the corner. And when he drove around the corner and seen that I wasn't there, with a briefcase, wearing a fucking pinstripe suit, he'd just fly into a rage and he'd run me over. He'd just be like, he'd see the PVC skirt and the fucking high heels and the pearl necklace, and he'd just go, I've changed my mind. I'm not picking you up. What? And then he'd reverse, and then he'd be on his way. Fuck you. So, he was picked up by his dad in his Land Rover Discovery. Witnesses report his father spent days getting the crusty baby gravy out of the fucking seats. The blood, spunk and shite covered his dad's Land Rover Discovery seats for days afterwards. Police Sergeant Gareth Handy. Oh, can we not talk about handies? You know, lowering the tone. Just because he had a pearl necklace and PVC skirt you don't have to start talking about him giving people a handy, do you? Sergeant, must you bring it up, Sergeant? He's probably a bit bigoted, Sergeant Gareth. When he attended his family home address, he described it as a mansion. And absolutely colossal. Of course he did. He forced entry into the property out of concern for the MP. Good lad. Good lad. Mr. Handy. He said he was eventually found in one of the rooms. And then he said, I saw Jamie had makeup on his face. Fucking. Found a blonde wig on the table. Just a fucking raving fucking lunatic. Where his eyelids were dark, his lips were red, and his cheeks were bronzed, and he had red nail polish on his toes like a prostitute. Does anybody get that reference? Oh, that's on Rome when the speaker's talking shit about Mark Anthony. He paints his cheeks and bronzed his lips like a prostitute. Wallace was found naked in the living area of a flat and given a modesty blanket until clothing could be found. The leather skirt and pearl necklace were found next to the bed. Listen. There's no point in going about all this shit. We all know what the crack is. When they were singing his praises to the rafters, Boris Johnson, do you remember? My honourable friend, honourable. He is lower than a rattlesnake's ball sack. What do you mean, honourable? Honour. Honour used to be a word that meant something. You were called honourable when you always did the right thing, regardless of the cost to yourself. Honour used to be a thing that mattered, didn't it? Oh, my honourable friend. They have fucking sullied the word. It's disgraceful. It used to really mean something. Now, my honourable friend, what? You mean the pill-popping, coke-snorting, sex-pest, fucking sexual deviant, mentally ill, incompetent fucking dirtbag who leaked jizz and shite all over his dad's fucking car seats? Are you having a laugh? Honourable. They do not know the meaning of the word. Jesus Christ. I like that. He likes throwing things in. Yeah, he likes people shotting things up his ring, doesn't he? Fucking my honourable friend. Do you remember though, Boris Johnson, this day when Fatty was sat there, that disgusting fat sack of rats was sat there in Parliament, and he was like, my honourable friend, oh yes, he's a sexual deviant scum, so he fits in perfectly in the Houses of Parliament and the House of Lords. And the Lords were like, oh, yeah, whilst fisting each other over the benches. I mean, do you remember that one? I really hate that Labour Lord from Newcastle. He was a Geordie, the one who was shagging the prozzies. Let me look that up. What was that? Lord? Yes, I should know that. And I forgot it. Lord Sewell. Yeah, he's got a good name. Sewer. Lord Sewer. That's how I shouldn't forget that one. Lord Sewer. Remember that one? And see, this is a point I used to make all the time about the Labour Party. This is like back about 10 years ago when I was all in with the Tories. You know what I mean? Because the evolution of the bootneck is probably like a lot of working class northern people. I went from being like Labour as a teenager, because everyone is in the northeast. And then because I can think for myself, unlike half of my mates who were just fucking indoctrinated by the parents, sort of like the SNP lot are in Scotland. I quickly grew out of Labour, and I was like, they're fucking scum. You just have to look at the expenses scandal. When was the expenses scandal? Does anyone remember that? When was the UK expenses scandal? Let me check. It was, because that was about the time I remember, 2009. Because I remember that was one of the big things in my evolution, because when the expenses scandal broke, it quickly became apparent that the Labour Party lot were taking the piss even more than the Tories. And it annoyed me because I was like, you know what I mean? In the Northeast, we talk about the Tories all being scumbags. But what became apparent was that at least some of the Tories, the ones that are really well off, Jacob Rees-Mogg is a great example. They don't take any expenses because they're like, you know what? I'm rich enough. I'm rich enough. I don't need to take the piss out of the taxpayer. So Jacob Rees-Mogg buys his own fucking pencil cases. Yeah. And it quickly came out in that 2009 scandal that Tony Blair's Blair babes, one of them got like 11 laptops in 2 years because she was just giving them to all her friends and family. David Lammy, expenses are ridiculous. Diane Abbott, their expenses are ridiculous. Every single sausage roll that big fat tub of gravy has ever stuck in her fingers. Every crumb of fucking Battenberg she's had to dust off the front of her blouse. The big fat howler. Every single one of them you paid for. You paid for. So it quickly became evident to me as a sort of lapsing Labour voter that the Labour Party were even worse than the Tories. And that's what I've been saying for ages. Like, I'm not a Tory because I've got anything in common with them or any real love for them. I always called myself a Tory because they were the least worst option. I'm a pragmatist. And I used to tell my mates, you know, the ones in, I bet you did, Jess Phillips, 235 grand. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Two Jags Prezzo, yeah, don't forget him. I'm just a pragmatist. I used to say, at least if a rich twat, a rich, horrible conservative takes the piss out of me, at least I expect it from him. I mean, you might disagree with me on here, but I used to, my mate John Witt, one of my oldest mates, best pal of mine from the borough, always going to be a mate of mine. But he's hardcore Labour, like brainwashed by his dad, loves the Labour Party. And I was saying to him, like, don't you think it's worse getting fucked by someone who claims to be of working class background and goes on about how working class they are all the time and says, oh, I'm a working class hero, me, I'm a Labour councillor. Don't you think it's worse getting fucked by one of them than it is getting fucked by a rich toffee-nosed bloke with a triple-barreled name? I do, because I expect to hate and have contempt and loathing for a rich toffee-nosed bloke with a triple-barreled name. But when some guy says, oh, I'm Borough born and raised, I'm a working class lad like you, my dad was a welder, and the second he gets his nose in the trough, he rips the piss out of you. I think that's way worse. Ian Blackford, yeah, it's all the usual suspects. All the usual suspects. You lot know, I'm preaching to the converted. Lamtron, you are losing the battle of your life. Try to answer a fucking basic question. They're all scum. All of them. All the highest expenses ones are the ones you'd expect. SNP, Labour, Plaid Cymru, lefty fucking arseholes. Jess Phillips. Jess Phillips. There's another one who could eat an apple through a tennis racket. Why have all the left-wing women got teeth like a witch doctor's necklace? Have you noticed that? AOC, sheep tooth. Jess Phillips, teeth like a bird fence. All of them, the birds, for some reason, fucking chomper. The only ones that haven't are the really, really old ones because they're false. Like Pelosi, you know she's checking them out every night, so she doesn't. But anyone who've got a natural set, fucking eat an apple through a letterbox. It's weird, that. Weird. It must be like, you know, like the dark side of the force. When you use it, you get uglier. It must be like that. If you're a communist, your heart is so full of hate and bitterness and spite and envy that every year you just get uglier and uglier and uglier. You sort of like shrivel up and your teeth go, and the next thing, there you are, gnawing on a fucking, biting chunks out of a watermelon through your letterbox. Weird that, innit? Right, anyway, so Lord Sewer, that was the one. Fucking teenage prostitutes, even though he's a dirty old, a 69-year-old man, smoking crack, doing coke, wearing a fucking bra. Like, this is the people. This is the people who run us, ladies and gentlemen. How haven't we? How haven't we gone mental and genuine? Like I keep saying, it'll kick off eventually. And it'll be because of shit like that. And they'll go, how did this happen, man? How did this happen? How did it come to this? We've been led by fucking scum for 40 years. What do you mean, how did it come to this? Look at that. What do you mean, how did it come to this? Coke sniffing, human trafficking, Because you're engaging in human trafficking. If you're fucking the young girls who are human trafficked into the UK, you're part of the problem. I'm an old school when it comes to the drug trade. I've said this before. I'm pro people doing it. If they want to do it, do it. But you've got to look in the mirror and blame yourself. I don't take drugs. It's your fault. If you're shagging the teenage prostitutes, you're providing the money for the sharks that bring them over. So this fucking degenerate scum, Lord Sewer, doing the coke, he's encouraging cocaine dealing. He's encouraging buying cocaine, shagging the young girls who are getting trafficked into the country. He's doing that. Lord Sewer. And he's just one of many. So there's another one. Lord fucking Sewer. This big, fat, horrible dirtbag. These people are just scum. And that's who's running the UK. Brilliant. I think I prefer the Americans. At least Pelosi and Biden and them seem to just be obsessed with wealth, power. Probably because their ancestors are all the go-getters who went to the colonies to try and make a fortune. They're all obsessed with money. But the Brits don't seem to be sex pests. It's always been that way. Like I said, since Billy Joel, British politician sex. We didn't start the fire. They're all sex pests in Britain. Why are they all fucking perverts? Hunter's is pervert, but he's not a politician, is he? It's his dad. Also, why is Hunter constantly videoing himself smoking crack and shagging pros? He's constantly doing it. He's got a fetish for videoing himself doing it and leaking it. He must have been. I wonder if he's took money off Trump. You know, because he's going to be skinned because his dad's a right tight bastard. He's got a drug and prostitute addiction. I wonder if Trump's just said to him, "Here, mate, if I just forward you like $10 million, will you just constantly take videos of you wanking and smoking crack and weighing the crack rocks and arguing with the prostitutes?" He must be doing it on purpose. It's like every week. He's got a fetish for photographing himself. It's really, really weird. And again, he's old enough to know better. If he was 18, I could understand it. But it seriously seems like he's doing it on purpose. Maybe it must be. A man that age, all right, we've seen loads of photos of you smoking crack. You don't have to keep doing it. He's a fucking weirdo. So anyway, let's just get this creepy pedo off the screen now. He's doing my edit. Right, the Capitol riot you don't want to hear about, do you? There's no point in talking about it. The Capitol riot is a partisan sham. At least, again, the BBC started calling it the riot instead of the insurrection, the least violent, most incompetent insurrection in American history, in world history. They didn't call it an insurrection in Sri Lanka, and there were fucking machetes chopping them up outside the fucking gates. It was a riot. And a riot that Trump dozens of times was on video, on camera, on live television saying, peacefully protest, peacefully protest. So it's not going to go anywhere. Trump can't escape responsibility. Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can. You know it and I know it. He's going to escape responsibility because this is a partisan sham and you're just doing it for the headlines. It's not going to lead anywhere. You normally say you don't escape responsibility when you're talking about legal accountability. So when you say Trump can't escape responsibility, that leads me to believe that you're trying to say to me, yeah, we're going to see him in an orange jumpsuit. He's going to be in a jail cell. He's not going to escape responsibility. You know that's not happening. And I know that's not happening because when it's a real court of law where you're trying to get someone convicted and sent to prison, they have a defense and they give their side of the story. And if it was to go to court, an actual court of law, it would get thrown out in an hour because he'd go, oh yeah, what about this video of me saying peacefully protest? What about this video of me saying peacefully protest? What about this video of me when I was the president of the United States and I went live on television and said peacefully, 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 peacefully? And what have you got? Oh, I've got this woman who said she watched a fucking pensioner do kung fu in the back of a fucking Secret Service car. Oh, yeah. And that's just total hearsay. And meanwhile, he's got the Secret Service agent who can come out and go, what are you talking about, you dippy fucking bint? Fat old orange bloke doing kung fu in the back of the wagon. I'm a 38-year-old man. I train 6 days a week. I'm in the fucking Secret Service. You think some fat old bloke's going to be able to overpower me and get the steering wheel? You're having a laugh, aren't you? You dippy fucking mare. Take your head for a shit. It'd be done in half an hour. It'd be done in half an hour. So this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is a fucking farce. And if you can't see through it, I don't know what to tell you. You've just got to be as thick as shit. Oh, look at that. That's brilliant, that. The chatter includes reports. Ooh, reports. Find me some fucking evidence. I don't want you hear you say, ooh, reports. All I know is I seen a bloke on the telly, the president, constantly saying, peacefully protest. All I know is the casualties from that day, actual casualties as a result of the riots, were fucking zero. The copper that apparently died turns out had a stroke, right, or a heart attack or something. And the only person who was gunshot wound from the day was the Trump supporting woman with a MAGA hat on. So there was only one gunshot incident that day. Nobody with an AR-15. There was one gunshot incident. And it was a woman called Ashley Babbitt with a Trump hat on who got shot in the face by a copper. And because she was white, nothing happened about it, and the copper got let off. So, Blah Blah Piffle's got a very good apt name because he's just going, blah, 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 bollocks, bollocks. Oh, there was a man in a tree with an AR. Did he shoot anyone? No, but he was there. If that's good enough for you, silly bastard, you crack on and you have it. You remind me of a fucking religious zealot arguing with Christopher Hitchens or something, saying like, oh yeah, but if God says that God's outside of time and reality, then therefore God can be there without any evidence, can't he? If there was all these blokes with AR-15s, why didn't they shoot anyone? Simple question. All these blokes with guns, oh my God, there was a man in a tree with a machine gun. Who did he shoot? Nobody. Who got shot on the Capitol riot? One person. Who was the one person that got shot? A fucking Trump supporter. Was she armed? No. Did she get shot in the face? Yes. Checkmate. You can take your fucking Japanese sniper up a tree with an AR-15 and you can wedge the AR-15, the fictional AR-15, up your shitbox because that is fucking childish. Childish. Nobody got shot. The only person who got shot the entire day was a Trump supporter. So poke it. It's worthless to me. Ooh, there was chatter. Fucking do one. In courts of law, they require physical evidence. And there was only one person shot that day, and it was a Trump supporter. So poke your chatter. Chatter. This is what I'm on about. It had been throughout in 10 minutes. So there's no point in worrying about it. So bollocks. Bollocks, ladies and gentlemen. You know it, I know it. Trump will escape responsibility because it ain't going to court. He's not getting charged with anything. He's not going to prison because it's bollocks. So, again, rather than debate the point here, we'll just see who's right, shall we? One of us is talking sense. The woke are talking shite. He's going to escape responsibility. Nothing's going to happen to him. Checkmate. Ooh, snipers in trees. Fucking do one. Snipers in trees. Class. You should write for fucking Amazon. You can't do a worse job than the twats who are making the shows over there at the minute. Lego pulls out of Russia. Shocking that, isn't it? Russia's pissed us off, so kids can't play with Lego anymore. You horrible bastards. This is just more of the same, isn't it? The people who claim to be the most noble and nice and decent and honest are just horrible bastards. That's just needless spite, that. Grown men don't play with Lego. The only people who play with Lego are kids. So just fucking do that just because you don't like Putin. That's just shocking, that. Stop operating in Russia due to continued excessive... No, just because you're being horrible bastards, just want to punish the people because of the excesses of the leader. That's just shocking, that. Anyway, I don't need to say anything more about that, do I? Do we care about the contenders for the PM? Do we care? Uncle Fester's pulled out, obviously, because Uncle Fester's about as likeable as a fucking 40-stone prostitute with syphilis and no teeth. Of course he's pulled out. It's Uncle Fester. Nobody likes him. Pob, he's got asked if he was a snake, and he replied, of course I'm not a... You fucking rat. Pob is a rat. Everybody knows it. He might be more right-wing than Johnson, though. So, Can't be any worse. I don't care because I'm not voting Conservative in the next election anyway. But should we watch that just for a laugh?
Are you a snake?
No. I think that I've been called all sorts of things in
I was yeah, you are, Pop.
my political life. But no, I think I'm just a regular guy.
Tell me what happened.
A regular guy. Are you having a bubble? A fucking regular guy. He's the most irregular guy I've ever set since fucking RoboCop. He's not a regular guy. He's a worm. He's a snake. He's a rat. So well done for answering him a pointed question, Mr. BBC. Although he's a commie, so we know why he's doing it. Because even though the Tories are woke and do their bidding, they still, because they're in this religion, and no matter how far you go, you can't be woke enough. So they still think the Tories are actually conservative, while anybody who formally voted for them sat there going, "Are you having a laugh?" Some moron on Twitter, another one of these woke spastics, said to me on Twitter, "What's woke about Boris Johnson?" I was like, have you just not been opening your eyes for the last 5 years? What do you mean, what's woke about him? Why do you need to ask me? He never shuts up about climate change, extinction rebellion, net zero, LGBTQ plus I. There wouldn't have been a war if the women were in charge. I was like, how many do you want me to reel it off for? How long do you want me to reel off woke Boris Johnson's ridiculous woke policies for? So weird how the hate goes. None of them are right wing. None of the Conservatives are right wing. It should be. But Jill Biden, sorry for likening Latinos to tacos. You couldn't make this stuff up, could you? We keep saying this as well. How is climate change woke? Because every single person in the entire world who describes themselves as woke is obsessed with climate change. That's why Blah Blah's trying to get himself just through out. He's trying to frustrate me to the point where I just fling him out and then he'll go, aha, that means he's a dictator, whatever. Like, I don't care. I don't care anyway. But can you stop asking me stupid questions? I like questions that actually tax my brain instead of stupid ones. You might as well ask me why water's wet. Every single woke twat thinks the same about everything. You might as well say to me, how is LGBTQ plus IA woke? How? You know how. How's it woke? It's all to talk about, for fuck's sake. Jesus. Anyway, Jill Biden, sorry for comparing Latinos to tacos. Yeah, I bet she is. Jill Biden's apologized. The National Association of Hispanic Journalists responded, "We are not tacos." So do you need to respond? Do you need to respond, really? Just fucking shut up and let these silly twats talk. What did she say anyway? The diversity of this community, as distinct as the bodegas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio, is your strength. These people are just fucking stupid. Ultimately, it's just about that, isn't it? I mean, it's not particularly bad, isn't it? It's not particularly bad saying it. It was just clumsy. Ultimately, these people are just stupid. I mean, I'll tell you what, this is going to sound a little bit... this is going to sound a bit arrogant because I'm a man who doesn't have a college degree. But can we all agree that in the last sort of 30, 40 years, the education system's just become a joke and it's not worth the paper it's printed on anymore? The reason people like Jill Biden have always got doctorates in fake... Because again, people that were born before about 1990 are used to being under the impression that if someone's got the name doctor, they're actually clever because they've got a doctorate in something substantial, i.e. they're a fucking medical doctor, they're a person of science and irrefutable logic, because that's how surgery works, right? If you're not following actual science and doing things logically, the heart stops beating because you fuck everything up. They haven't got enough blood to carry all of the oxygen around the body. But nowadays, they've always got these fake fucking degrees, haven't they? Jill Biden is a doctor. They always go, "Ooh, Dr. Biden," but it's not in medicine. It's some bollocks discipline, like always the same, from some Mickey Mouse university, where you basically just fill your head with horse shit. So why do you expect me to respect these people? What is a degree in? Can you remember? I think she got one. Basically, she's an arts student, as usual. She got a degree in English or some bollocks, and then the doctorate is a follow-up of that. She's a fucking arts degree, a liberal arts degree, probably. And everyone's like, "Oh, how dare you say Dr. Biden's not a fucking genius?" Dr. Biden is a fucking idiot. These papers mean nothing. AOC's got a degree. Didn't she minor in economics? Because I remember we're listening to Neil Ferguson talking about her. And he said, "Oh, she's one of yours then." Like he was having a laugh with one of his economics mates. And he was like, "Oh, she's one of yours then." She graduated with a degree in economics. And she thinks fucking the world's going to end in 2025. Like, these people are just fundamentally unimpressive. Modern politics is exactly that. These people are just fucking stupid. I don't want to go on about it too much and make out that Jill Biden is racist or bigoted. I don't think she is. But she's just fundamentally unimpressive and stupid. Jack Howard, the Suffolk Viking. There's loads of Vikings follow me. I'm a love doctor. Does that count? If you say so, Jack. But being a man of logic, I'd like to see some. I'd like to see some evidence, preferably from a sexual partner. Although it's no less impressive than Jill Biden's qualifications. So yeah, fuck them. Yeah, so let's leave Jill Biden alone. I don't think she's bigoted. I just think she's fundamentally unimpressive, unintelligent, just a bit stupid, easily led, dense, part of the follower of the woke religion. Sir Moore. Sir Moore. No. I don't call anyone. I don't call me dad Sir. I'm not calling some fucking illegal immigrant by that. So this illegal immigrant is praised for being an illegal immigrant, is he? Let's have a look. First of all, by the way, someone said to me, "Oh, did you know Mo Farah was illegally trafficked into the UK?" And I was like, "Really? Really? You think that's news, do you?" Of course he is. Massive numbers of the people that in the UK were illegally trafficked into the Britain. Everybody knows this. You don't get the face of your nation changed so utterly in such a short period of time if massive numbers of them weren't illegally trafficked into the UK. It's. I think the real statistics would stagger everybody as to how common it is. I remember reading about it in like the noughties, when somebody raided a pizza shop, a kebab shop in Borough, and they were amazed how many illegals were in there. They rounded up like 12 staff members, and 10 of them were there illegally. Most of them come to the UK legally. Ragnar's bought me a pint. Cheers, Ragnar. Thanks, mate. You know, I will say, by the way, it may be pointless buying me pints via YouTube because I've never had a penny out of them. And as far as I can ascertain, I won't be able to get the money off them. Because whenever I try to log into that AdSense thing, it doesn't work. It just says our engineers are working on it. Again, maybe it's a conspiracy theory, but I'm not particularly untech savvy. You know, I do edit my videos and, you know, color my art and stuff. I'm not totally solid. Every single try, I've tried getting rid of my cookies, everything. Every time I try and sign into AdSense, it says, you can't sign in. We're not having it. So I think they're just fucking with me, as usual. So we'll see. We'll see. If I ever manage to get a single, but full disclosure, I've never had a single pound out of YouTube, ever. Every time I've ever tried to sign it, it won't have it. So just full disclosure, it might be pointless. But I appreciate the sentiment anyway. Mo Farah is an inspiration. Why? His story was a shocking reminder of the horrors of trafficking. He said he was flown from Djibouti, age 9, given a false name and forced to look after another family's children. Downing Street said we're to clamp down on perpetrators must continue. Nadeem Zahawi said he salutes Sir Moore for describing him as an inspirational human. Having fled Iraq when he was just 11, Zahawi said it felt painful to learn his experiences as a boy. Fuck off. See, again, the woke Tories, all the woke Tories spend all the time doing now is pandering to people like that. And I do not understand it. This is what I keep saying about why aren't these spads getting sacked? Why aren't these spads getting sacked? These special advisors, they know nothing. I'm better at this than they are. I can tell you how to win an election. Hire me. Sack all these teams of spads. I'll do it for free. Once a week, we can do a Zoom chat and I'll tell the Conservatives how to piss the next election. Easy. It's unbelievable how stupid they are. Because how long have I been saying this for, ladies and gentlemen? At least 2 years. At least 2 years. Why are you pandering? Ignoring your base, which is what you need to do to win. Support your base. Pander to your base is what you need to do to win. And the Tories, for the last fucking 4 years, have been doing the exact opposite. Because think about it. I mean, is our woke friend still in the chat? And now I actually do want you to hear. Now I actually do want to hear from someone woke, right? Just prove me right. If you're woke, no matter what Boris Johnson says, no matter what Boris Johnson does, if you're a Conservative Prime Minister, no matter what Rishi Sunak does, doesn't matter what your colour is, doesn't matter what your gender is, doesn't matter any of it, doesn't matter a jot. If Priti Patel went on the fucking telly and went, I love scissoring, I'm a leather, I'm brown, I'm foreign, I'm going to put loads of money in to get more illegal immigrants over, I'm going to disband the Royal Navy and turn it into the fucking Royal Illegal Immigrant Boating Corps. I'm gonna scissor Theresa May live on the 9 o'clock news, and then I'm gonna ban cars, and we're gonna be the greenest country in the whole wide world. And then we're gonna ban meat because we all should be vegans. And then I'm gonna live in a yurt. And then I'm gonna. Would you vote Conservative? Answer me fucking that. Would you? No. You would go, oh, well, that's bollocks. She's still a fascist. It's all a trick. It's all a lie. Yeah. SNP. Commie shit. Commie shit. So it begs the question, you thick bastards, why do you keep pissing off your base and pandering to the woke, the left, the commie, the Marxist, when they will never, ever, ever, ever vote for you? I mean, how easy is that? I cannot believe how stupid and ignorant the Conservatives are. They will never, ever, ever vote for you. Zaha twat. You can suck Mo Farah off, Mo Farah. You can give him a gobble on fucking the 9 o'clock news. They're not going to vote for you. It doesn't matter what you do. You can fucking build 2,000 mosques, open 500 gay bars, ban combine harvesters, and hum the fucking gay pride anthem with Mo Farah's balls in your mouth on Question Time. And when they go into the polls, they're going to vote for the fucking lefties because they don't like the name of your party and they don't like the colour of your tie. You stupid, thick, baldy bastard. So stop pandering to them. Crush them. If Cami Badenoch goes on the telly and goes, fuck the green agenda, fuck the woke, I hate the woke. I'm not woke. I hate the woke. I'm going to crush the woke. I'm going to fuck the green agenda off. I'm going to Extinction Rebellion, get in the sea. I'm going to go back to conservative values. I'm going to close the borders, police the seas, stop the illegal immigration, smash the criminal gangs, crush the criminal gang. I'm going to build more prisons. They keep saying, oh, we haven't got enough prisons. I'm going to build more prisons. I'll empty a few old army bases. I'll still stick all the convicts in them. Fuck the green agenda. Fuck the woke. I hate them all. Vote for me. She'll win the next election. Easy. Easy. But what do they do? What do they do? Pander to the people that despise them. Yeah, blah, blah, piffle still in. Blah, blah, piffle. If Theresa May, if Priti Patel went on the telly and said, right, you know what? You've changed my mind, Mr. Piffle. I'm woke now. I'm woke. I've decided I'm woke now. All I'm going to do is read The Guardian, and I'm going to smash loads of birds, and I'm going to invite loads of illegal immigrants in, and I'm going to get soft on crime, and I'm going to let the pedos out. I'll basically do whatever the woke people tell me. In fact, I'm going to hire Owen Jones, and basically I'm going to have him on a dog chain, and I'm going to follow him around, and he can basically tell me to do everything, and I'll do it. Would you vote for Priti Patel? Or would you vote for Keir Starmer? Tell me, what would you do? Is there anything Priti Patel could say or do that would make you vote Conservative? Is there? Because I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why the Tories are spending all the time pandering to the left when the left will never vote for them. It's like a religion. It's like the Pope saying to all the Catholics, fuck you guys, I'm off to pray 5 times a day in the local mosque. Well, they're not going to support you. Hook-handed clerics are not going to go, I'll tell you what, I love the Pope, I'm going to be a Catholic instead. They're not going to change. They've got their own religion. They don't want the fake religion. They've got one. If the Pope starts pandering to the followers of the religion of pieces, all he's going to do is drive all of his devout Catholics away. So all the Conservative Party have done, maniacs that they are, is piss off all of the fucking Conservative voting base to pander to a bunch of people that will never ever vote for them. So I think it's the maddest thing ever, and I don't understand why they've done it. So as I keep saying, I don't care about the leadership campaign. And unless there is some miracle and someone like Cami Badenoch or someone who's actually got a tan, because they're the only ones who apparently can get away with saying this stuff anymore, if one of them comes out actually conservative and says, in no unequivocal terms, I despise the woke and the Extinction Rebellion and the climate change lot and the criminal elements and the people traffickers, and I will make it my life's work to crush them all, I'm not voting for the Conservative Party. And I thoroughly recommend you all do the same. Vote for Reform, vote for the SDP, vote for any alternative to the Conservative Party. Watch them get smashed. Hoard all your food. Try and see through the 4 years of the commies running the show when everybody goes bankrupt. And then maybe in 2028, maybe we've got a chance of actually having a fucking Conservative government. Because until that day, you ain't getting one. All right? Right, thanks for watching, ladies and gents. I think that'll do for the day. I'm going to go and eat chicken McNuggets because I've been to the gym and I'm starving. Right, thanks for watching. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good evening. Stay safe. Stay safe. Toodle pip. Cheers, everyone. See you later.